Hi everyone, welcome back to another videos on Legends of Runeterra. Today I'll be going through the basics of the gameplay. Okay, as you can see over here, this is your hand, these are your cards. Okay, this is a champion card. In order to play a unit, you drag and put it on top here, and it will go to this area. Okay, for the card, the numbers that represent on each card, right? This over here, the orange color one, it shows the power, okay, on how much damage you can damage the others. And over here, this is your health and how much you will take a damage from before it is defeated. Okay, this is champion's card. So in order to level up, right, there's different criteria. Let's say for Garen, you have to struck at least once and you level up. Okay, as stated over here, Garen will level up after he strikes the enemy once. When you play a unit, right, this is a unit in play. It comes over this area, which I mentioned earlier on. So basically in this game, right, you and the opponent take turns every round. Okay? As you can see over here, this is your Nexus, which is your health. Showing 6 over here. This is the enemy's one. Okay, it's showing 8, so he has 8 health. So from this play area, this will be the attack area. So you have to drag it in and commit your attack. So this is about blocking. So this champion driven over here is blocking, which means it is against my action. Okay, but I don't have any cards yet, so I can't resolve it. So as you can see here, I have 5 health, he has 3. I have 5 damage, he has 4. So the moment I struck him, he is dead. I level up, my health remains 1. Okay, because 5 minus 4, 1. So when I level up, the card art also change. Okay, so right now we are at this blocking part. So for this champion, right, Braum, the criteria to level up is actually when he block once. So now you are going to go to block. Okay, so this has 5 damage, you have 6 health, so you survive it, but you deal no damage to him because you got 0 power. Okay, and for this, right, Mighty Poro will survive with 1-1 and the opponent rear guard will die. Okay, so now we'll be talking about our mana. So now we're going to talk about mana. So this bar over here, this number over here, it indicates your mana. So every game you start with 1, every round you increase by 1. So this will be the mana cost to cast this spider, this unit. So this is the mana cost. Okay, as you can see over here, this orange color sword, okay, this is the indicating that you are able to attack. So right now this is not on this area, it's on the opponent's side, so meaning say you are defending, he is attacking. Okay, you can only attack every round, every other round. Okay, so the enemy goes first. Okay, so right now you can see this orange sword is on my side. This indicates that it's my attacking turn. Okay, and your mana, as I mentioned earlier on, you will gain 1 every other round, every round. Okay, every round. So as you can see here, for your unspent mana, okay, over here, you will go to your spell mana over this tree, a maximum of up to 3. Okay, so as you can see over here, it comes over here. Okay, so that's it for the basic gameplay. So now we'll carry on to the keyword explanation. So for the first one that we have will be the allegiance. So for allegiance, right, is when you summon this unit, it gets its bonus if the top card of your deck matches its region. So I have 2 examples over here, the Everosen, the Outriders, and the Wraith Caller. So for the Outriders, right, the allegiance is grant the top ally in your deck a +3/+3 and overwhelm. Okay, so for this meaning to say, the top ally in your deck get the bonus effect, but provided it is of the same region. Okay, And for the Wraith Caller, right, the allegiance is to summon a Mist Wraith. So for this, right, meaning to say it will summon a Mist Wraith when the same region on top of the deck, same card from region on top of the deck, and it will automatically summon a Mist Wraith. Okay, so this for the allegiance portion. And for the next one will be Attune. Attune, right, is actually when you summon, you get to refill one spell mana. Okay, the spell mana which you have is up to 3. So we have two examples, one is Bubble Bear and one is Shell Shocker. Okay, moving on, we have the Calm Block. So Calm Block, as what the effect say, is actually an effect that prevents a unit from blocking. So we have two examples. Okay, the Reckless Trifarian and the Legion Rearguard. So these two basically can only attack, it can't block. The next one is Barrier. So Barrier, right, it actually negates the next damage the unit will take, and it lasts only one round. Okay, so two example, Lux, a champion with the Barrier, and also a Green Fang Warden. So these two will have the Barrier. So meaning to say, when this example, the Lux, use it to attack, an opponent is having damage on the unit and uses that unit to block Lux, Lux will not take any damage, but the barrier will break. Okay, so this is how barrier works. Okay, and for the next one we have is Captured. Captured, basically there's only, I could say, one card. Okay, the effect is a captured card is removed from the game. It returns when the capturing unit leaves play. So basically, as you can see, I have two cards, Mage Seeker, Investigator, and Detain. This Detain spell card comes from the Mage Seeker. Okay, this is the only captured card so far in this game right now, and it is through the Mage Seeker. As you can see, it creates a Detain once you cast a 6+ cost spell card this game. So that's how Detain come. So for the next one will be Challenger. Challenger, I believe, is most commonly used. Okay, the effect is you can choose which enemy unit blocks. And I have two examples. One is the Affectionate Poro and the other one is Lauren Protege. So these two has the Challenger. So example, I have these two unit. Okay, one Poro and one Protege. I use it to attack, but the opponent has maybe, let's say, a unit with 4 damage, 1 health. Okay, but you do not want your Protege to die. So you can use the Poro to choose the unit with a 4 damage, 1 health to block your Poro's attack. And in that case, your Protege attack will go through and will not die. Okay, so this is how it works. The next one you have is Deep. Deep is basically an effect whereby you automatically have a +3/+3 once your deck has had 15 or fewer cards. Okay, meaning to say 15 onwards, you go deep. Okay, this is quite simple. So I have two examples. One is a Shipwreck Hoarder and the other one is a Berserker Eye. So you can see, right, for the Shipwreck Hoarder, it has 5 health and 7 damage. So once it goes deep, it will become 10 damage and 8 health. And for the Berserker Eye will be 6/6. Okay, the next one we have is the Double Attack. Double Attack, basically right now the only unit that has this keyword on default is Horns of the Dragon. Okay, what it does, right, is while attacking, it strikes both before and at the same time as its blocker. Meaning to say it strikes first time, okay, before the blocker, and one more time with the blocker. Okay, so basically if you're attacking the Nexus straight away, for example like Horns of the Dragon, it will do 8 damage. Okay, and for the, let's say if a unit is blocking, it will deal 4, and if it survives, okay, it will do another 4. But you can see over here there's this unit, Senna, Sentinel of Light. Okay, it only has a double attack only when she sees an ally Lucian die. Okay, only when Lucian die, Senna will gain double attack. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, so for the next one will be Drain. Drain basically heals your Nexus for the amount of damage dealt. So the two example card we have is Neverglade Collector and Grabs of the Undying. So for the spell card Grabs of the Undying, so basically drain 3 from a unit. So draining 3 from unit, you heal a Nexus for 3. And for the Neverglade Collector, when your ally dies, okay, drain 1 from the enemy Nexus. So meaning you say damage 1 enemy Nexus and you heal yourself 1. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. And next one you have is Elusive. Elusive, right, can only be blocked by an elusive unit. Meaning to say, if you are having, let's say the two cards we have, the Amphrine and the Amateur Aeronaut, so these two as elusive. So if these two units were to attack, and your opponent will having non-elusive unit, they can't block. Okay, it can only be blocked by an elusive unit that the opponent have. Okay, and for the next one you have is Enlighten. Enlighten is actually you enlighten when you have a 10 max mana. Okay, the two examples we have is Emerald Awakener and a Pharaoh Mystic. So these two actually basically when they enlighten, they have a +4/+4 effect. Okay, moving on, the next one will be Ephemeral. Okay, this unit dies when it strikes or when the round ends. So basically this will only stay for one round. Okay, and two examples I have is the Darkwater Scourge and the Shadow Fiend. The next one is Fearsome. Fearsome units can only be blocked by enemies with 3 or more attack. Okay, the two examples we have is the Prowling Cutthroat and the Precious Pet. So for units like this, if let's say your opponent is only having units with 1 or 2 damages, they can't block. Okay? The next one is Fleeting. Fleeting cards discard from your hand when the round ends. So this is something like the previous one, the Ephemeral, whereby only lasts for a turn. Okay, so the fleeting cards that have in this game is only these two, Return and Resonating Strike. So these two are the only. Okay. The next one is Frostbite. This could be commonly seen among players because of the champion which I have over here, Ash. Okay, and the other one is Flash Freeze. What Frostbite does, right, is actually it set a unit's power to 0 this round. But it can be changed after. Meaning to say, right, if the enemy has been frostbitten, okay, but they have a spell card which actually increases their damage. Therefore, it can be changed. Okay. So for the champion card Ash that we have over here, when you attack, right, it actually frostbite the strongest enemy. So this is a pretty good card. Okay, so frostbite. Just to go furthermore, when Ash level up, when your opponent has 0 damage, they can block. Okay, so which is why I say I think most players, or I have seen players using this frostbite deck. Okay, the next one is Immobile. Immobile actually quite straightforward. It can't attack or block. So the two examples we have is the Monkey Idol and the Powder Keg. Okay, they can't attack or they can't block. The next one is Last Breath. Last Breath basically this unit, right, will take effect when the unit die. So as you can see, I have two examples, the Everosen Sentry and the Undying. The Sentry, right, Last Breath, when this Sentry die, you draw one card. So that's the Last Breath ability. And for the Undying, when this unit die, it revives on the next round with a +1/+1 for each time the Undying die. Okay? And the Undying is a pretty strong card. And usually from what I see when I play, when I have Undying, people usually won't block. Okay? And the next one is Lifesteal. So as the keyword mentioned, Lifesteal. So you damage this unit, you heal your Nexus for the amount. So we have two examples, the Darkwater Scourge and the Emerald Awakener. So these two have Lifesteal. The next one is Nexus Strike. This effect will only occur when a unit strikes the enemy Nexus. Meaning to say when you strike unit, the effect will not come in. Okay, the two example is the Abyssal Eye and the Silent Shadow Seer. As you can see right, the Abyssal Eye, when you Nexus strike, you can draw a card. And for the Silent Shadow Seer, you create a copy of that unit in your hand. Okay, and for the next one, Obliterate, it completely removed from the game, doesn't cost last breath, and can't be revived. Meaning to say, right, let's say I have two examples, She Who Wanders and Corina Veraza. Okay, She Who Wanders, when you play this card, obliterate all followers with 4 or less power in play and in hand. Meaning to say you and your opponents, okay, in play and in hand, those with 4 or less power will be completely removed from the game, and even if it has last breath, it cannot be revived. Okay, it doesn't cost last breath. Okay, so example, like the one, the Undying that I mentioned on, the last breath is revive on the next round. Okay, but when this obliterate comes in, the last breath effect doesn't come in. Okay, and for the Corina, when you play this, it obliterate the top 5 cards of your deck to deal 1 to all enemies for each spell obliterated. Okay, you completely remove 5 cards from your deck to deal 1 for each spell card that has been completely removed from the game. Okay, so here we have the Overwhelm. Overwhelm meaning it access the exact damage that you deal to your blocker, the enemy blocker, is dealt to the enemy nexus. Example, we have this Iron Ballista and Mighty Poro. So both of them have Overwhelm. So example, if Iron Ballista were to go against Mighty Poro, and you can see that Mighty Poro has only 3 health and the Iron Ballista has 4 damage. So the remaining 1 damage will go to the enemy nexus. Okay, so this is the effect of the Overwhelm. And for the next one we have is Plunder. Plunder is actually a card that triggers its Plunder's ability when played if you damage the enemy nexus this round. If you don't damage the enemy nexus, you play this card, the Plunder effect will not come in. So two examples I have is the Jagged Butcher and the Ursine Spirit Walker. So for the Butcher, right, when you deal enemy nexus damage this round, after you damage it, you play this, you will get a +1/+1. Okay, and for the Ursine Spirit Walker, it will only transform into the Stormclaw only if you do damage to enemy nexus this round before you play this card. Okay, so that's how Plunder works. And for the next one you have is Quick Attack. Okay, Quick Attack is when you are attacking, you strike it before the blocker. Usually when you go into combat phase, the striker and the blocker attack together at the same time. Okay, but for Quick Attack is you strike the blocker first before the blocker can damage you. Okay, so in example, I have Lucian and Senna. So if Lucian were to attack an enemy with maybe let's say a health of 3 and a damage of 3 as well. Let's say example, a Mighty Poro. So you are the attacking side. So this Quick Attack is you will kill Mighty Poro without you taking damage because you have the Quick Attack. Okay, and same goes for Senna with the Quick Attack. Okay, the next one we have is Recall. Recall is actually to return a unit to hand and remove all effects applied to it. Okay, let's say you are in the midst of, okay, we have two examples, the Wheel of Ionia and Mina Swift Flute. So I have this Wheel of Ionia. Okay, I have Mina in play, example, and maybe let's say someone, your enemy, casts a spell which actually kills Mina. Okay, you can cast the Wheel of Iona, you recall your Mina, and your Mina will not have any effect applied to it. And if let's say your Mina has actually already taken damage or has its health increased, it will also remove. It will go back to the default 5 health which Mina have. Okay, that's what it means by remove all effects applied to it. Okay, then we will have this regeneration. Regeneration actually heals fully at the start of each round. Okay, so we have this Scar Maiden, River, and Garen. So For example, for Garen, the moment you hit your enemy or you block it, you are left with 2 or 3 health at the end of the round. So when a new round starts, your health will be full. Okay? Okay, at the start of each round, you'll be healed fully. Okay? And for the next one, you have Scout. Scout is the first time right, only Scout units attack each round. You can ready your attack. So we have two Great Horn Companion and the Greaser Ranger. So these two units, if let's say you have a total of 3 units, give an example, the Companion, the Ranger, and Garen. Okay, but you are attacking with only the Companion and the Ranger. Okay, after you attack, your Companion and Ranger can attack together with Garen. So meaning to say, right, you have twice. You can attack twice. And for enemy wise, they can block twice also. Okay, if your scout units are if your scout units were to attack and they choose a blocker, okay, they will take damage, you will take damage. After that, if your scout survive, you can attack again and they can block again. Okay, so this is how the scout card effect works. And for the next one you have is Strike. Strike is basically an effect occurs when a unit does damage with their power. It does not work for units with 0 power. Okay, so we have 2 units, Fang Wolf and Garen. So Garen, as you can see, you have to strike twice. Okay, you strike twice, you level up. And for the Wolf, right, the strike effect is when you strike a unit with 0 power, you instantly kill it. In this situation, meaning if your opponent, is already frostbitten, it has 0 power, regardless of how many health he or she have that you need, you'll be instantly killed because it has 0 power. And that's the Fang Wolf strike effect. Okay, the next one is Strongest. Strongest meaning highest power, which ties broken by highest health, then highest cost. So the strongest, they will take into consideration of the power first, followed by the health. So if let's say the power is a tie, they'll go by the health. And if the health is also tie, then they will go by the cost. Okay, so the example we have is the Ramtas Shaman and the Rekinder. Okay, so as for the Shaman, you can see at the round start, you frostbite the strongest enemy. And for the Rekinder, will be when he is summoned, you revive the strongest dead ally champion. Okay, so that is the keyword strongest. The next one is Stun. Stun is actually to remove a unit from combat. It can't attack or block for the rest of the round. Okay, I believe everyone will know what the stun means. Okay, so we have 2 units, a Yon Wind Chaser and a Arachnoid Sentry. Okay, so for the Wind Chaser, when you play this card, stuns 2 enemy, and for the Sentry, when you play this, you stun 1 enemy. Okay, for the next one, we have this Support. Support, it actually gives an effect to the unit position to the right of this unit if this unit attack. So meaning to say, you want which unit to get that effect, you have to place it on the right of the support. Okay, we have 2, the Intrepid Mariner and the Herald of Spring. So for the Mariner, right, the support is you give your ally an elusive this round. And for the Herald of Spring is you give a lifesteal. So meaning to say, right, if you want to have this lifesteal or elusive, we have to place it on the right of these 2 cards. Okay, so example, right now the position is the Herald of the Spring is on the right, the Mariner is on the left. So Herald of Spring will get the elusive this round. Okay, so this is how the support works. Always remember to place the unit that you want to get the support effect on the right. And for the next one you have is Toss. Toss is actually to obliterate a number of non-champion cards from the bottom of your deck. Okay, it's from the bottom, not from the top. Okay, 2 examples we have is the Jettison and the Dredgers. So for the spell card Jettison, you actually toss 4. So bottom 4 will be obliterated. Okay, non-champion card. Okay, for the drag will be when he is summoned, you toss 3. And the next one is tough. Tough is actually to take 1 less damage from all sources, be it spell, non-combat damage, combat damage. Okay, we have 2. This example will be Ruthless Raider and a Vanguard Defender. So for these 2, right, there's this tough. Okay, so basically for Ruthless Raider, if anyone with 1 damage won't be able to kill this Ruthless Raider. Okay, and for the Vanguard Defender, anyone with a 2 damage will not be able to kill Vanguard Defender. Okay, but for the Ruthless Raider, if your opponent has a 2 damage, it will be able to kill it off because it only reduces 1 damage. Okay, so for the tough, this is how it works. The next one you have is vulnerable. Vulnerable is actually an effect whereby the enemy can challenge this unit, forcing it to block. It is the opposite of challenger. Okay, as I was saying earlier on, challenger actually enables you to select which unit you want to attack, or should I say, which unit you want to force it to block. Okay, but for the vulnerable, okay, you do not need to have challenger, meaning to say my opponent is having vulnerable. Let's say these 2 example cards, the golden narwhal, okay, it has vulnerable. So meaning if this card is on my opponent's side, for me, right, when I am on the attacking turn, when I attack, I can choose this golden narwhal to block. I can force it to block. That's how it works. Okay, challenger is, don't be confused. Challenger is you must have the challenger keyword in order to force people to block. Okay, but for the golden narwhal, which is having a vulnerable, it actually enables the opponent to challenge this unit, forcing it to block. Okay, and the other example card we have is You've Been Won. Okay, you give the enemy vulnerable this round. Okay, next we have is Weakest. Weakest is the opposite of strongest, obviously. It actually count into your lowest power, in which case if it's tied, okay, the lowest health followed by the cost. Okay, so that's the weakest. For play, right, play is actually, this effect will come in when you play from hand. So we have Mina Swiftfoot and Rasa the Sunderer. So when you play, for Mina, right, when you play, you get to recall 3 enemies. And for the Rasa, when you play, right, you kill the 2 weakest enemy if an ally die this round. So for Rasa, meaning to say, right, usually people play this only if his own ally die, then you get to kill the 2 weakest enemies that the opponent have. And for Rally is if the player doesn't have any attack token, they gain 1. So meaning to say, if it is your turn blocking, but you play a card which gives you Rally, let's say like Relentless, Pursuit, or this Tiana, Crown Guard, you gain an attack token also. So meaning on your blocking turn, you get to attack, your opponent get to attack as well. Okay, and the last 3 that we have, okay, followed by the Silence. Silence, this is the only card that has, okay, is Purify. Silence, right, actually silence a unit, okay, that all the cards effect, the text will be removed. Okay, as in the description, the silence unit has all card text, keywords, and any and all effects currently applied to is removed. Okay, basically if let's say I have Undying, Undying's effect is Last Breath and the round start. So when Purify comes in, silence the Undying. Okay, Undying will no longer have the Calm Block, Last Breath, and round start. Okay, so this is the meaning of silence. And the last 2, okay, one is round start, one is round end. So for round start, the effect triggers when the round starts. For round end, the effect triggers when the round end. So for round start, I have the 2 examples. One is Shaman, one is the Undying. So as you can see, at the beginning of the round, you frostbite the strongest enemy. That's for the Shaman. And for the Undying, at the round start, okay, you will be granted a +1/+1 for each time you have died. Okay, for the round end, you can see I have Dawn Speaker and Ancient Yeti. Dawn Speaker, when the round end, you grant other allies a +1/+1 if any ally die this round. Okay, and for the Ancient Yeti, when the round end, okay, if this card is in your hand, the cost is reduced by 1. So as long as Ancient Yeti is in your hand, every round end, the cost will be reduced by 1. Okay, so this is the round start and round end. That's the end of today's video. Thank you for watching today's video. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Please leave down in the comments below if you want to see more of this type of videos or if you want me to play other games. See you again.